Anyway, no, there's so this was it?
Where were we?
Yeah. Speaking of knowing some information, if somebody brings something up, there was a guy the other day at work.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling us something about Top Gun, and he knows the person who did like the music or something. I can't remember. Like he said something along the lines of, I remember watching the first one, and the guy who composed the music happened to be a special guest at the show.
Okay.
He showed up.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, you know to do that every once in a while. And I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. And he goes, do you guys know who that is? I'm like, nope.
Oh no way! Yeah, no, I don't.
But
know.
I'm happy you're happy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to I'm trying to make
enthusiasm is
you seemed enthused.
Yeah.
I want to seem enthused. You know?
Boom, boom.
All right, so it's recording.
We're good. Your thing is recording. It's what on me now?
I just want to, no,
Okay.
it's on me.
It's on you.
Yeah, this is I feel like we should call these like the in-betweeners or something. I don't know.
You know,
or just call it regular episodes.
I don't know. I was thinking about solo episodes because now that we've been doing this for a while and now that we're actually having guests more often than not.
Yeah. We should call it like actually no, we shouldn't call it that. I think we should stick to the regular pattern. If it really becomes a thing.
Yeah,
like,
if it starts becoming a thing,
like
then we can.
If it becomes too short of an episode, then we can call it in between episodes or like
filler.
Like what's it called? Oh man, like in the chat before the chat. I don't know what's it called.
Yeah,
what's
I
it
know.
called?
Like
Pre-chat.
Pre-chat. I don't know.
Pre-chat.
Sure.
I mean,
Whenever I think filler, I think anime, and I think of all the horrible.
We can just call it
fillers.
filler.
I mean, that might just
filler
be filler
episode number whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
like
we can still go in order of the episodes, but
like
call it filler episode.
Like the time Goku had to fix that his spaceship when he was on his way to Namek.
Oh man,
It was a horror. I mean, it was really an episode about him just training. Then he had to fix the ship himself. That was a filler episode. That's my whole point. It was just a filler episode.
Got it. Yeah.
And it sucked because I mean, you run home from school to get your hands on that remote
And
so
you
nobody else can watch it. So you can keep it on your channel that you want.
Yeah.
And then you get stuck with a filler episode like that, and then you have to wait next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Join the Z Fighters, whatever it's called.
Krillin's in the house. It actually was a line, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it actually was a line. Look it up.
Oh my god. Dude, I saw like somebody photoshopping Krillin's face and then putting Goku's hair and his nose on there, and it looks just like young Goku.
Yeah, I mean,
like the same.
I
mean, obviously,
I'm sure artists do tips and tricks.
Yeah,
not tips and tricks, but I mean, cut time because when all the stuff that. But I mean,
well, yeah, I remember in Naruto. Remember Sasuke versus Gaara, the first fight, and he had all that like bandage on his arms. Yeah. Apparently, that took forever to make as an episode because they had to draw that over and over again. So it's like,
wouldn't that the same thing for Rock Lee?
Rock Lee was, I think, a little different. I think Sasuke had not only that, but like something else on there. Like he had like.
Remember when he did Chidori for the first time? He like unclicked them.
Yeah,
he
had
it
buckles.
It was just like for that one time. After that, you never got to see him do it again. It just looked cool.
I think it was at just that episode. That's the only time you actually see him in that outfit.
No, he kept that outfit for up until the Sasuke retrieval arc.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought he was like shirt and shorts and that's it.
No, that was the.
Remember how they took him?
Yeah, and then when he trained with Kakashi, he had that like jumper, that onesie, with the Uchiha symbol in the back.
Yeah,
that's when he came back, and he stayed in that one through Gaara fight, and then I guess you didn't really see him much when Jiraiya and Naruto went looking for Tsunade, and then after that, when they came back. And Naruto's in the hospital and all that stuff, or Sasuke. Oh, you know what?
Was in the hospital.
No, because Itachi fucked him up. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still had that same jumpsuit on.
Yeah.
So not until when Sasuke leaves to go to the Orochimaru is when
or the Akatsuki. Oh wait,
no, it's Orochimaru.
Yeah, Orochimaru.
Yeah,
Orochimaru. He was part. He was kind of part. It's getting weird.
It's hard, people.
Weird. Anyway, let's see. How do we transition out of this?
How do we transition out of this? Well, Asuma was a good.
Speaking of fathers.
Oh yeah.
Sasuke's dad could have.
They died.
I know.
Happy Father's Day, everybody else. Itachi killed everybody.
Seriously. You know what's funny is like when we saw the flashback on how it actually happened, instead of like just making Itachi as the bad guy, like his dad could have taken him on. Like he met him in the street. He's like, "I'm not gonna fight my own son." And then he goes home and he goes like, "I know you're doing this for the village."
Wait, did he meet up in the street?
Yeah.
Was this in Shippuden that we saw it?
I think so. Maybe, yeah.
Most likely. We don't find out until later that Itachi wasn't
spoilers.
Yeah, I know. Well, at this point, if you hadn't seen it, I mean, it's on to Boruto, so.
Yeah, that's true. Boruto tried a whole like timeline thing. I don't know if you've seen any of it.
Okay, so I've read. Sorry for my nerdiness. I've read most of. I'm reading Boruto, but the anime is like 80%. The anime is 80% filler, so I don't even bother.
Oh.
So that whole timeline shit didn't happen. Not really. Yeah, it's all filler. It's all anime. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Actually, here's one I wanted to piggyback off of. Speaking of Naruto,
the what?
Asuma.
Asuma? Oh yeah,
Shikamaru's
father
sensei.
figure or
sensei.
older brother, father figure. Yeah,
it's just sensei, teacher. It's a teacher-student thing.
Yeah, but I think Naruto said is like you're like an older brother or like a father or whatever, and he's like crying or something. It's like Naruto's like the best ninja, the whatever.
Are you thinking of You're thinking
Isn't that Asuma?
No, you're thinking of Konohamaru.
No, I'm thinking of Asuma.
The smoker.
Oh, that's a different. Oh, never mind. Oh, so what I'm thinking is the first teacher with the freaking X on his face or something.
Oh,
Iruka, yeah. I just got it.
Yeah.
So Asuma, yeah.
Asuma
was a smoker.
He was a smoker.
And at the end, he wasn't, though. I think he just had a toothpick or something, didn't he?
No. That was because 4 kids did it. That was when they kidified Naruto, either he had a toothpick or he had nothing. Like they just or it was like I don't think he had anything, censorship.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to piggyback off of one of our last episodes that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Smoking.
Uh-huh.
We didn't really get to finish much of that.
What do you mean?
Well, we're talking about how like you used to be a smoker.
Yeah.
And
not a toker. See, I'm young and hip.
I don't know. Are they? Is that what they're into now?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I know toking was smoking weed.
Yeah.
But as far as smoking, so like, what do you want to know?
Well, like we briefly talked about it for like 6 minutes, and we just didn't really finish it up. Like, I know you said that, like, if it wasn't for Crystal, who just basically said, "I'm not gonna kiss you," and you're like,
if I smoked,
if you smoke, you're done, right? Do you remember how you got into it?
Oh yeah.
Or like, well, obviously you remember, but like.
Yeah. So, when I was like 16, 17, I was like anti everything, anti alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Like I would shame you if I found out you went out drinking or something. All right, I would look at you in disgust. And then my junior year, so right after I turned 17, I started hanging out with the seniors. I won't name any names, but everybody who's a senior along with your class. You know who you are. Anyway,
because you were a junior.
I'm a year younger than you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So I know what you're talking about.
In high school, that was like, dang.
So yeah, I was a senior when you were a junior, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah. So I started hanging out with with that group.
A different crowd,
kind of, and a few of them were already turning 18, and back then the legal age to buy cigarettes was 18. Now it's 21, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
When did that change?
A few years ago. I don't remember when.
Yeah, I've never been a smoker, so I guess I never really cared. So anyway, I didn't know.
21. As far as I remember, I could be completely wrong, and there's some exceptions somewhere, but
okay.
So yeah, everybody, at least a couple of them were already like having cigars, and I tried the cigar thing just to try it because peer pressure. It wasn't peer pressure. It was more like
everybody's doing it, so I guess should try it.
Yeah, kind of like a peer pressure myself, which is weird. And so I tried a little bit of cigar. I didn't like it. Then I remember the first time I drank hard alcohol. It was with a friend, and we were at his house, and it was just me and him. We just started drinking Smirnoff vodka, fucking disgusting stuff. But it was hard alcohol, and it was like
it was cheaper to get.
Cheap, and we were just trying to like experience a new world, whatever. And yeah, I was like right before 18, I think. And then bonfires started becoming a thing in your senior year, my junior year. So right after your senior year, summer of bonfires was the thing to do. But I was still in high school technically.
Yeah.
So I was staying out late on summers. And that's when like, let me take that cigarette, and that's where I started like, okay, kind of like I didn't know how to smoke it at first.
So you still a little.
So it was like the puff, and then somebody says like, dude, you're wasting it, and I'm like, oh, you have to inhale it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it was like, it wasn't like altering in any way. It was just, but it looked cool at the time, And even now, like you still see it on TV, and you're like, fuck, I want a cigarette every once in a while.
Do you?
Yeah.
So
there's this like it's kind of like
it's a subliminal message, isn't it?
Kind of. It's definitely like a sort of release of somehow. Like if you're stressed, you go punch a bag. If you're if you're tired, you have a beer. If like you're trying to de-stress or something. So I connected that.
So that's what happened with you.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's what started to happen with me.
Okay.
Like I was freaking 17, 18.
Yeah.
What stress did I have back then?
I know, right?
I really think about
that all the time. And I'm like,
now it's like, fuck, I can give me one right now. Anyway, so yeah, towards the end, it was a lot, there was a couple people I would hang out with, and it was a trigger for sure. And we would go through a pack or two for that day.
Yeah.
I never was a pack a day kind of guy. But every time I hung out with certain people,
you're like,
it was
light one up.
After every 30 minutes, we were back outside. It was like the weirdest thing. And again, it was one of those things where like, in the moment you're like you're just doing things. You're not really
to wind down.
But then when you're doing things without knowing why you're doing them.
Oh, okay.
Like whatever the reason you might tell yourself, I'm hanging out with friends or whatever, it's stress and stuff like that. But like when I think back at it, I'm like, I didn't really need all that. Like I didn't need the cigarettes. I didn't need the booze, like to have fun and stuff like that. Because there have been some really amazing sober moments in my 20s. And I was like, holy shit, no booze whatsoever. Yet we had the best time of our lives. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, I tried to recreate that with the same people, and I was like, oh, never mind, I need booze. It was just, I guess, in the moment.
Maybe at that time, everybody was like, everybody was just craving
in the
at
moment.
That,
yeah. Everybody wanted, like, interaction, social, just having fun, not really, like, putting any other issues in the way. Because I don't know if you noticed, but when you're drinking, like, you can start talking about, like, your stress and stuff like that.
That's usually where it all comes out.
That's when it comes out. Like, I remember... one of the bonfires, my friend, or him, I'll tell you. Like I said, I don't like to freaking tell names.
I don't either.
But he was drunk. I can tell he was drunk, and I haven't seen him like that in a while. But he was still like the life of the party kind of thing, or like the cool guy of the party. But he was drunk. I can definitely tell. And he's like, they used to call me Biggie. He's like, Biggie. You're so awesome. Like, he starts telling, like, I love you, man, blah, 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 this and that. And I'm over here, like, sober, right? And I'm like, and he goes, like, yeah. When people were telling you these things and they're drunk, they're usually pretty, like, half serious. And then he starts joking about something else. And I'm just like, okay, so this definitely, like, loosens you up for sure and stuff like that. But, yeah, no, I don't.
Liquid encouragement.
Yeah, smoking was a part of my life for what feels like a short period of time,
right?
But I know I did it for a while, at least until I was like 28, for sure.
So like at least like what, 10 years?
A good 10 years, yeah. There were times where I did quit for like months at a time, and then I hung out with some people. We hung out, and it was just it was nice to hang out, but like it brought along the triggers and stuff like that. And even now, I think about it still. Like if we hung out again, would we try to make some sort of I don't know. That's the thing. Oh. I just don't know.
Do you ever get the craving for it every once in a while?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm watching a show that has a lot of smoking.
Like, I remember the feeling of that.
Yeah, just light one up late night, whatever. And we're like at the end of the day just to like de-stress or something. Like I remember towards the end before I quit, that's what all it was. I would work all day. I would get home.
And you're thinking of what can
Yeah, I would get home. It would like on a nice summer night, best freaking time. And I would go outside because I don't smoke in the house. I go outside by like the sidewalk, and I'll just real quick just. All right, I'm done. Go inside, take a shower, go to sleep, stuff like that. But yeah, towards the end, it was very like casual.
Right.
It wasn't like party or anything. Again, if you mix in drinking, hanging out with friends, all the triggers, I might. I'm not. I wouldn't. I'm never gonna say no. I technically told Crystal I haven't quit. I'd rather prefer a kiss over smoking.
Did you realize that it wasn't? Did you accept that it was an addiction?
So,
or did you know, or did you just kind of keep being like, no, I just one. I only just need one. I'm not smoking a pack. So
I don't know like the actual definition of addiction, but even one a day is an addiction to me.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you go a day without it and then you notice like your day is different,
it's like
you're
coffee.
Addicted. Yeah,
I mean it's coffee.
Just like coffee.
It's a coffee addiction. I mean, yeah.
Which coffee addiction is a big problem. But
what do you think this is?
It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. I'm just kidding. Like I haven't had coffee yet, but like at some point my head is gonna start.
Exactly.
Hurting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's why I'm like, fuck. I'm like right now. It's more. I'm not having coffee because I don't want to have the shits or have to dehydrate a different way. It's true. You gotta like strategically plan your day sometimes. Like I just mentioned before the podcast, it's like I had to hide ice cream, and now I'm all boogery. As you get older, you start making these weird plans. And I remember,
you become more regular when you get older. You have your not regular in that sense, but like you have your.
It's funny. So I don't know if it's brilliant or like the dumbest thing I've ever thought of. So whenever I feel like backed up,
okay, we're here.
Yeah, whenever I feel backed up, I was like, I'm gonna go have Taco Bell. Next day, woo, dude. I don't know if it's just brilliant or like just
talk about knowing
silly.
your triggers.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you lean into it, you make it your own.
Oh my God.
You know. This episode's not brought to you by Taco Bell. No,
okay, I'm not gonna lie.
No, taco shits is a thing.
No, I know. I'm not gonna lie because there's been times where I'm like, oh, I know tomorrow I'm gonna be cleared out.
Yeah.
I mean, just
like like if you're having Taco Bell tomorrow, you better not have anything else scheduled, kind of thing, or at least nothing with mobility. No,
that's the truth about getting older, right?
I know.
It's funny because I remember being younger, being embarrassed about talking about that shit.
Yeah. Oh, when being younger?
Yeah, being younger, like you kind of like a little more reserved about it. There comes a certain age where you're like, I don't fucking care. Everybody goes through it.
Yeah, I think when we were younger, it was more of nobody talks about shit unless it's in a movie. Like I never heard anybody talk about it. But yet you remember Zach and Mary make a porno?
Yeah.
When she's all backed up. Mm-hmm. That was disgusting.
That was gross. Yeah.
Any other raunchy movie like that was a big thing.
A movie. What was that movie?
Harold and Kumar.
Is it movie 48? Is that what it's called?
Oh my God.
Or movie 43, 48? What is it?
I think it's 43 or something.
Okay, but you remember that? Yeah, you remember that, right? Yeah.
It was such a weird movie.
It was.
He's a bald Chinian. Anyway.
It was a weird movie. Had a lot of people in that movie though.
I think it was like a passion project.
It was an ensemble. It was just like
I feel like it was one of those things like, hey, we have this crazy idea, and then they took that idea of talking about the idea and made it.
Like, how can you describe that movie aside from it was an ensemble cast of just a bunch of people that.
I dare you to go blow that blind kid's candles before he does.
Yeah,
it's like holy shit,
dude! It was. Oh my God. Anyway,
I was just thinking about it all stuff. The funniest one is the homeschool.
I'd have to rewatch it again. I only watched it once.
So the parent, like, there's this
One?
couple. No. That one's different.
Okay.
That one's people are shocking themselves for some reason.
Not shocking. And then they're getting cut.
The funniest one was like the homeschool couple. So the couple were talking to another couple, and they're like, "So you homeschool your child?" It's like, yeah, we thought it was smart and financially, whatever the reasons were on that one. And so you see him like in class,
Uh-huh.
studying in the living room, and then the mom's the teacher or whatever, and she's just like treating him like dog shit because and then the dad and the mom are like different kind of bully characters throughout the house because they want to give him a full high school experience. And then he's in the shower. The dad opens like, look at this guy's pubes. They look weird. So like just full on experience.
Okay, that's funny.
And then the craziest part was like, yeah, even like the romantic part. So his mom was sitting next to him in his bed, and she goes, "Cindy says we should go all the way." Did you see his face just?
I don't remember that movie. I only remember a couple a couple sketches.
I think it's because I just rewatched it like a couple months ago.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, dude, I watched it like 9 years ago.
It was the weirdest, and the animated cat.
I don't remember that either.
You gotta rewatch it, dude.
You
brought it up.
I know, right? I know.
Anyway, no, there's so this was it? Yeah. Speaking of knowing some information, if somebody brings something up, there was a guy the other day at work.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling us something about Top Gun, and he knows the person who did like the music or something. I can't remember. Like he said something along the lines of, I remember watching the first one, and the guy who composed the music happened to be a special guest at the show. He showed up. Yeah. Hey, everybody, you know to do that every once in a while. And I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. And he goes, do you guys know who that is? I'm like, nope.
Oh no way! Yeah, no, I don't.
But I'm happy you're happy. You know, I'm just trying to I'm trying to make
enthusiasm is
you seemed enthused.
Yeah,
I want to seem enthused. You know, it's just funny because I'm sure there's other moments where I've had like that where somebody tells me something. Oh, that's pretty cool. But if they asked me, they would call my bluff.
Yeah,
I know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, back to smoking.
Right.
Yeah, so I haven't smoked since, December 2018.
So when you started doing it regular, first off, when you tried it the first time, did you like it?
I don't.
Or you just
I don't recall.
You just kept doing it because you kept hanging out with the same people, right?
Yeah, and then I remember.
At what point were you like, I'm buying my own and I'm doing it by myself?
When I turned 18.
Okay, so that's when you just started doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
No longer with those friends. You just I can buy myself.
I remember I was like right before I turned 18 is when I started smoking, and I would ask a friend or two like, "Hey, can you buy me one?"
Yeah.
But then when I start buying my own, I think that's where it's like
further,
I have the power, and then further
the addiction. I asked because I tried cigarettes at least 3 or 4 times, and each time I absolutely hated it. So I just never got into it.
You're not doing it right.
Probably not. I don't. Yeah, I know.
Well, it's also there's other things too. Is like I know a lot of people who have never smoked a day in their life,
right?
And I know if you give them a cigarette or a cigar or whatever, they're going into what they point of view of it's disgusting,
right?
So obviously it's not going to work out. I mean, get them drunk, get them a little loosened up, and have a cigarette. Because I know other people who like during the daylight, they're like, nah, that's nasty, da da da. But I didn't seen them after a few beers.
Oh, they were just
can I have one too?
Yeah.
What the?
That's weird. I don't know. It just
there's different.
I had a friend who at that time he had cigarettes and like he started smoking, and we were in a parking lot one time. He's like, "You want to try?" I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll give it a shot. And yeah, do the whole like I don't know how to do this kind of thing. You still take a puff or whatever. I'm like, it tastes like ass. Nah, thanks, man. A different occasion with another person. I'm like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I didn't get how to do it. Try it again. I'm like, no, it tastes like ass. Like you feel that ash.
The menthol? It's minty.
The ash. I don't know. The ashiness of it is just one thing I couldn't got. But like, I will smoke a cigar. And yeah, I've smoked weed on occasions too, and that's totally fine. It's just something about a cigarette itself I could never get past. No. And it's not that I went in with like it's disgusting kind of thing. It just, for me, it just wasn't enough to whenever I would see that friend, I wouldn't be like, let me take a puff, or like I would be in the mood.
Or like, yeah. No, I just
so like that's why I wonder. I was wondering if at one point like it just clicked for you, or do you just next thing you know you're just like, Oh shit! I have a box of cigarettes in my hand now.
No, I think it was just one of those things. I don't remember buying my first pack.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't for me. It didn't become like a big thing because somebody else was already buying it for me. I just gave them the money.
Right.
But I don't remember it being
an addiction.
An addiction. At least for me, it didn't feel like an addiction. But as far as like me looking down and like going deep in thought, like it didn't register in that in my head. It could be just me talking about it now. It doesn't register, and then later on I'm in the shower. I'm like, fuck. Like
always the shower.
It's always the shower. But I know there was a time where I know I was smoked too much because the stench was on me. Cigarette stench, and I had friends who like you smell like cigarettes. Yeah. I'm like, fuck. I gotta go shower, change, and all that stuff, and just. That's when I know I was like.
Did your parents know about it?
Oh,
when
probably.
you were like 17 or whatever?
They never
confronted
They never
you?
saw me.
They never
confronted me.
Uh-huh.
But I know they knew. I think the first time I actually smoked in front of a family member who didn't know, or there's like, okay, I love all my family, we're blood, whatever, but there's some that are more important than others, unfortunately. Though I remember the first time I smoked in front of one of my cousins who like we were like brother and sister, and it was after the fair. She picked me up, and I told her like I need to have a cigarette before we go. It's like what? And I was already drunk and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah. So I stepped outside, had a cigarette, and I can just see her in the car, just hi Miguel, like, you know?
Yeah.
And then I got back in, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never. In my head, I'm like, I'm not smoking in front of her again. But but that's where where the alcohol impaired me to make a better judgment a little bit is to not smoke at that time. Why I could have just stayed in the car, drove 12 blocks back to my house. You know how small the blocks are here. It's not that far.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
2-minute drive, less. I could have just waited. No, I needed a cigarette.
So you fell into the addiction talking then at that point. You could have
again, it's one of those things where like if there's a combination of things, alcohol.
So you
after a night of partying,
right?
You know,
it just couldn't wait.
You just couldn't wait.
Couldn't wait.
That's why like every time I see somebody walk out of a movie theater, I'm just gonna go have a cigarette real quick, and I'm just like, God, that wasn't me. But I'm sure if I was drinking in the theater,
in some ways you can relate though.
Yeah. I was like, relatable. Oh, dang, that sucks. And you know, you lose time with people. You lose time on the movie. You lose just to have a cigarette. And you know, and we timed it too. So that like a regular cigarette is like 5 minutes. Dijon Black is 10 minutes. Like, it just depends like which cigarette you're having.
That's how you apply to math.
5-minute break was a regular cigarette. You know. So how long's your break? 3 Dijons. back to back, the back. No, but it's just I don't know. It's just one of those things where like I know if for some reason like Crystal and I weren't together or something, I'd probably go back to it. I'm just being realistic. I mean, with myself. It's not like I'm saying it's like I'm gonna go destroy my life. I'm just saying. Like, no,
you're just saying that you would partake in like probably an occasional one here or two.
Yeah. You know, it's the de-stressor or whatever.
Remember that? Yeah, remember that? What was it? That goatee picture that you posted up not too long ago?
Oh shit! Yeah.
That explains the cigarette.
Did I have cigarette? Yeah, I had cigarette. I was smoking when I was there.
I was like, hey, that explains the style. I'm just kidding. I was thinking about that the other day after you told me that.
Maybe. I mean, I had the beanie on. I had the goatee. I think I was like 21.
Math checks out, I think. Yeah. Unless that was one of those times when you were not doing it. I don't know. We all make style choices that we're not very happy with, that we're not very proud
Crystal
of.
says, "Don't do that again."
With the goatee.
The goatee. No, you don't want the flavor saver, baby.
Oh no,
I'm just kidding. I never said that in my life until now. Yeah. I'll never repeat it.
I'm really glad she probably won't watch this.
I don't know if she does. I don't know if she does or doesn't. If she does, it's fine. I don't think I've said anything that. No,
that's the same. That's the same thing I have with my wife going on. And it's like, I know what not to say. Let me just say. Everything I say on this show, I am aware that she may or may not listen. So or hear. So
can you imagine let's say you do say something. I mean, I can always edit it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we're kind of dumb, not editing it, if we leave it in there for show,
like on one of the days we're just like feeling frustrated or something. We never feel frustrated with our wives, by the way. Let's say all of a sudden it's like, why is it skipping all the time? There's so many edits.
We're wearing different shirts the next
day. They're spliced together. It was
nobody will notice. Nobody will notice.
And you tell it. Cheat. That'd be hilarious.
Oh,
anyway, I think at that note, this is a pretty decent episode.
Hey, we still. Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
So we have. I mean, we can go on a couple extra minutes if you want. I don't know what else we. Yeah, there you go.
It's funny because it's not true. Anyway.
Okay, now that made it funnier.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess smoking will, or can happen again. I'm not saying no.
Right.
So, it's a reality.
You're stronger now, though.
I'm stronger now. I'm sure I can come up with different things to keep my mind busy, but it definitely is.
I mean, I guess it helps when you have something else to like fight for.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Once if like I said, there's a few circumstances that have to happen for me to go back.
Go back to it. Yeah.
It's this is one of the things, but I do crave it every once in a while, especially when I'm watching shows that have people smoking in them. Like, you ever watch Mad Men, or at least heard about Mad Men?
I've heard about Mad Men only because
sweet Jesus.
So I never watched Mad Men.
Fucking choo-choo train in there.
Yeah, I remember when it was on. I remember of it. I never watched Mad Men, but did you watch the movie This Is 40?
This is 40. Yeah.
It was like the kind of the sequel
right
to
after Knocked Up.
Knocked Up, right?
Yeah.
Well,
they're coming out. This is 50, I think.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'll probably watch that. It was funny. It was funny. But anyway, the girls, Paul Rudd's daughters, were getting all worked up over Lost.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And he was like,
"Hey, how?"
Yeah. And he's like, "What are you?" And then she's like, he was he was screaming at them.
She went to go smoke a cigarette.
No. Well, I don't know if that happened, but like he was like, "Why are you guys getting all worked up about this?" And she's like, "Well, you get worked up over Mad Men. All they do is just a bunch of smoke. It's just a bunch of guys smoking." Ever since that's when you're telling me now. That's when I learned that I guess there was a lot of smoking in that show.
Yeah, it's like freaking every drinking, smoking.
Don't watch Cowboy Bebop then, because there's plenty of smoking there.
That's our guest.
That's our guest. Yeah. Well, anyway, enjoy this. Two dads filler short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep telling us what you think. If you want to be on the show, we're here. Let us know. Enjoy the studio, which we haven't named yet. What?
Naming the studio? No, not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, do studios really need names?
Yeah. We want to brand it out, yeah. Anyway, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Well, that too. So.
Boom, boom.